Hey, Grind and Shine family. This is Nellie Ryan, your STAR director, and I wanted to chat with you real quick today about compensation. If you are looking to make some more money in your Scentsy business, if you're looking to grow a team, then I wanted to go over a couple of things with you because growing a team can be so much fun and so rewarding. And getting to work with other consultants and watching them succeed and um, helping them through the process is probably one of my favorite parts about this business. And so as we go through the compensation plan, I'll just go over some real quick tidbits of information to help you kind of understand it a little bit more. And then if you are interested in learning more about it, would like to dig a little bit deeper and maybe have some help with a plan and how to get to that point in your business, then let's chat. We'll set up a time. We can go through some coaching calls and help you get to where you want to be. So I'm going to do a screen share here really quick. I'm just going to show you where you can find the information in your workstation. So if we do a screen share. Okay, so all I did was I just typed in the word compensation into the search button or the search section on the home page. So really anywhere you can find the little search magnifying glass, you can just type it in there. And so all of this information comes up about the compensation plan. This is the compensation chart. So I'm going to just download that here real quick and open that so you guys can take a look at the chart. And this is all available for you guys to take a look at and print. But basically this chart outlines everything that you need to know to be able to basically the requirements that you need to be able to grow your team and get more pay. So the top part is really all that we're going to take a look at right now, because the bottom part gets a little bit confusing, and so we will save that for another time. So really the top portion is what I'm going to look at today. So basically everybody starts out as an essential consultant. As an essential consultant, you get 20% commission on all of your sales, up to $1,000 in lifetime sales. See right here, it tells you once you sell $1,000 PRV, you are certified for life. So that means you get 25% commission on all of your sales. There are some sales bonuses that you can earn each month, and that is found in your consultant guide that you got with your kit. And if you don't know where that is, you can find that also in the workstation. Just search consultant guide. Okay, so once you hit that $1,000, you are a certified consultant. In order to promote to lead consultant, you need to have three things. One, you have to have a minimum of $500 in PRV. And let's stop for just a second. So PRV is points per retail volume. For region 1, the US dollar is based on a point system. So they had to do a point system to be able to convert all the different oh my gosh, money, the different countries and stuff to be able to, I can't even think of the word. Anyway, to be able to convert it all into the point system. So it does follow very closely to, or it does follow along with the US dollar. So for every $1 in sales, you get 1 PRV. So you need 500 PRV or $500 in sales. And then you need to have one active consultant underneath you. And what active means is they have to have at least $200 in orders in that month. Okay. And then between the two of you, you have to have 1,000 GWV. So now what GWV means is GWV is 75% of the PRV. So it's 75% of your total sales, which means that in order to get that 1,000 GWV, and that is your sales plus your consultant that you've sponsored underneath you, you actually, the PRV to combine together would be, I think, around $1,300, $1,330 or something like that. And so you have to, if it was just you having the 500 and then your person had the 200 to be active, you're not going to promote to lead consultant because that only gives, that's only 700 PRV that actually converts to less than that, probably around 6 something GWV. And so you have to probably sell between the two of you. Again, you a minimum of 500 and your consultant together would have to sell around 1,300 PRV. I might have to double check my numbers on that, but it should be pretty close. 1,400 would be safe. So then basically, if you take a look at this top row right here, this is super duper important because if you have a team underneath you and you're not getting that, see there's 500 here, everybody needs to have 500 in order to, that's one of the stipulations that you need to have in order to get paid commissions from your downline's sales. And so if, let's say, you promote to lead consultant and your GWV is over 1,000, but you don't have that 500, you will not get paid on the consultant that you sponsored. And so once you go to start consultant, you still need that 500. Now the requirement is 2 active frontline, so 2 consultants that you've personally sponsored. That's what active frontline or frontline means, is people that you've personally sponsored underneath you. And then together your entire group needs to have 2,500 GWV. Okay, so this means that as a start consultant, you could have a team of 5 or 6, but at least 2 of them have to be personally sponsored by you and have to be active, at least $200 in sales that month. Now, this is every month, you guys. This isn't just once you get it, then you're good. You have to work for it every single month. So if you're not hitting that $500 in sales every month, you're not getting paid on your downline. So it's 500 and 2,500 and 2 active frontline. Okay. So then moving along, superstar consultant. Again, here's that 500, super duper important. Minimum is 500. You guys, I would suggest trying to reach more for 1,000, if not 2,000. Did you know that if you sell 2,000 in PRV in 1 month, you will actually get a 5% sales bonus? So that means that instead of 25%, you will get a 30% commission, 30% backing commissions. The difference between that is $100. You would go from a $500 check to a $600 check. So hitting that 2,000 per month is huge. It can sound very intimidating right now. But if that's something that you want to work for and have a minimum of $600 every month, let's chat. I'll help you make a plan. Okay, so as a superstar consultant, you need to have 500 PRV, 6,000 group wholesale volume, and 3 active frontline. As a superstar consultant, you could have a team of 11, 12, 13, 15, something like that. But at least 3 of them have to be active frontline. So that's 3 people you've personally sponsored have at least processed a $200 order. And everybody in your entire group, that's up to 15 people, whatever it is, has to be selling a total of 6,000 GWV. Okay. And then you're 500. So one thing that I want to point out though is how super duper important. I will share with you guys underneath this post, or maybe, I don't know how I'll do it yet. Maybe it'll be a separate post. But just recently, some of our lovely consultants have shared in another group how dramatic, I don't know if that's the right word, or impactful having a team is on their paycheck. And so the increase in pay is directly correlated with the amount of active frontline that you have in your team. So 3 is just a minimum. And as you see, from superstar consultant all the way up to superstar director, that is the minimum to be able to get paid at title. So I'm sure let's talk about that for a second. So paid at title, PAT, if you see that, I've done some shout outs before on the team page about people getting paid at title. So that means if somebody, let's say they got to superstar consultant And if they don't hit all of these numbers, they're only getting paid at this rank, star consultant or lead consultant, whatever. They have all of these things. So if they have the 500 and the 1000 and the one active, they're getting paid at lead consultant, even though they might be title wise a superstar consultant, but they're only getting paid at the rank that they achieve each individual month. Okay, so you could be a superstar consultant, and if you don't have any active frontline, and even though your group is kicking butt, but you don't have any active frontline, you might only get paid at a certified consultant rate. So you're not getting paid on everything else if you're not hitting all of the stipulations you need for each title. Okay, I hope this is making sense. So I have seen where there's consultants that have a team of like 11 people and they're hitting their GWV, but they're coming up short and they're not hitting their 500. If you don't hit your 500, you're not getting paid on your downline. You're only getting paid on your own PRV and leaving all that money on the table. Okay, so that's why this is super important. Okay, so the moving along, once you hit director, this is where we have a little bit of a jump. Okay, so as you go from superstar consultant to director, now you're in a leadership role. It doesn't mean that you're not a leader as a lead consultant, star consultant, superstar consultant. You absolutely are. It just means in the eyes of Scentsy, you've promoted to director, and now there's a new stipulation that you need to meet because just like what I just told you, your team, you want to sponsor deep and wide. So wide means that you want to keep sponsoring. You can't just sponsor, one here, one there and call it good. You want to keep on sponsoring. There's a 33% rule. So there's always 33% coming into the business, 33% working the business, and 33% leaving the business. And so if you aren't constantly adding to your team, then you aren't growing. And so you might have somebody under you who is also a rock star and their team is growing, but if you aren't hitting all of these stipulations, then you won't be able to maintain title, okay, or maintain rank. So here as an example, so as director, to hit director, you need, again, to sell at least $500 in PRV. Your entire group is 10,000 GWV. Okay, and then you also need to have a team wholesale volume of 2,000 TWV. Okay, why is that important? Well, sometimes you might have somebody underneath you who might promote to director with you or out from under you. You're basically like, if you think of it like you're promoting out from underneath your leader. Okay, so when you look at like Cassie and Christy, they promote out from underneath me. So they are still part of my entire group, but they're no longer a part of my team. Okay, so my team is totally separate. Those are still the people that I personally sponsor, and then they sponsor underneath them and sponsor underneath them. So you can have several legs or several generations underneath you. However, you once you hit director, you kind of come out from underneath that, like underneath the umbrella, if that makes sense. Okay, so then if you have somebody underneath you who also hits director, then their group wholesale volume no longer counts towards your team wholesale volume. Okay, so you need to have 3 active frontline. Now that person still counts as your active frontline as long as they're active and they're hitting all their numbers. Obviously they would be if they're promoting to director, but you would have to, with your team, your remaining team, not including the new person that the new director and their team, that no longer counts as part of your group wholesale volume. That only counts as part of your team. Okay, so you can be a director and you can have directors underneath you. The catch is, in order to hit star director, you need to have the 500 again. You need to have 30,000 GWV. You need to have 6,000 team TWV. Okay. 3 active frontline, again, just those active frontline, and 2 first generation directors. Okay, so as a star director, in order to get paid at title, I have to have 2 active or 2 directors, or whoever, you have to have 2 directors underneath you that are considered directors hitting title. Okay. And so that means that I have 2 people that are hitting these numbers. Okay. So that's why you can see, if you're looking at the GWV, that's 10,000 per director, right? To hit that 30,000 for the group wholesale volume. But my team, or your team, has to hit 6,000 TWV in order to qualify for star director. So if let's say, because right now we are a star director, excuse me, we're a star director team. If my specific team does not hit 6,000, then I'm not hitting all of these numbers, right? So if I'm missing one of these, I don't get paid at star director title. I would get paid at rank, which means I probably would get paid at director, but not at star director. Okay. And then superstar director, same thing. 500, you need to get 80,000 group wholesale, 10,000 team wholesale. 3, again, active frontline. That's very common throughout across the board. Once you get to a leadership role. And 4 first generation directors. So let me talk about generation real quickly. So there's a difference between generation and frontline. Okay, frontline is your personally sponsored consultants, people that you've actually sponsored into the company. If you had somebody that you sponsored that sponsored other people, maybe they had a small team and they leave Scentsy, or they don't meet their requirements after 4 months, they lose their downline, they roll up to you. So those people would turn into your frontline also. Okay, so frontline is people that are directly like first generation right underneath you. I just used the word generation. I hope this is not confusing. So generation directors means that it doesn't matter where they are in the line. They could be 5 generations down. If they are the first one to become director in that leg, they are your first generation director. Okay. So let's say I have a dog outside my door and she probably has to go potty. Oh, yep, she's hitting her bell. So I will do kind of a diagram and show you what that looks like, but there is a difference between first generation and frontline directors. If you are in the leadership position, you want to learn more about that, let's have a chat. And my puppy's got to go outside. So sorry, guys. I'm glad I was done. Have a good day.